double digits, a breakthrough in the search for the fountain of youth, and new foods that fight cancer and heart disease. In depth, against all odds, the winners of the Powerball lottery come forward. From armed robbery to $41 million, one man's incredible story. And he said, she said, Gary Condit's troubles grow. That flight attendant tries to get criminal charges brought against the congressman.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Substituting tonight, Stone Phillips.
Good evening. Only in times of war or recession. That's what President Bush said last week. But a new report out tonight from the bipartisan Congressional Budget Office says the government will have to do what it promised not to, dip into Social Security funds sooner than expected to cover an estimated $9 billion shortfall in this year's budget. And that's just the beginning. NBC's Campbell Brown joins us tonight from near the President's Ranch in Crawford, Texas. Campbell?
Stone, tonight an even gloomier view of the government's finances. New numbers suggesting the situation is only going to get worse. The shrinking pot of government money today projected to be even smaller. What's gobbling up the surplus? The president's tax cut and the sluggish economy. And now the nonpartisan CBO says the president will have to take $9 billion from the Social Security Trust Fund to cover his spending proposals this year and use $18 billion from the trust fund in 2 years to cover his tax cut. New ammunition for Democrats who charge the president is breaking a promise to keep Social Security funds in a so-called lockbox.
Republicans and Democrats voted for the lockbox. And here we are, 4 months after the budget passed, doing precisely what we said we didn't want to do.
But the new CBO numbers are at odds with White House projections that show the president won't have to tap Social Security funds and will even have $1 billion left for new spending. Today, the White House downplays the accounting difference.
I'm struck by how close it is to our own estimates. Over this 10-year period, we're about 1% apart or less on all the big numbers.
Now, this will have no effect on Social Security benefits, but it does set the stage for a huge battle between the White House and Congress over whether both sides can keep a promise to keep Social Security funds untouched. Stone.
NBC's Campbell Brown tonight. And if a weakened economy and threats of layoffs aren't enough to make both employers and workers uneasy, new evidence tonight that the cost of health insurance in this country is about to go up dramatically. NBC's Ann Thompson has more.
From coast to coast, American companies getting hit with staggering price increases for health insurance. S.E. Johnson Construction near Toledo, Ohio, just one firm struggling with the new rates.
We're looking at a 28% increase in our cost of benefits for the year 2002.
Benefits manager Mary Jo Gall says the price hike will cost the company an extra $400,000 to cover its 450 employees. Driven up by consumers' demand for choice and the rising cost of prescription drugs, nationwide analysts predict an average increase of 13%. But unlike last year, when a tight labor market and still robust economy kept some companies from passing on rising costs to employees, this time experts say many will have no choice. A survey by benefits consultants Marsh Incorporated finds 51% of mid-sized companies will ask employees to pay more.
You'll see, I think, more premium increases, more deductible and copayment increases for employees.
Families USA, a consumer advocacy group, worries working families will opt not to buy any coverage.
It's going to drive more and more people into the ranks of the uninsured.
30-year-old Sandy Gearing, a purchasing administrator at S.E. Johnson, is recovering from brain surgery. Her prescription drugs alone cost $200 a month, and she fears higher premiums.
You can budget and save as much as you can, but you don't know what the ultimate cost is going to be.
The higher prices are forcing S.E. Johnson to radically rethink its prescription drug plan, including asking employees who want brand-name drugs to pay more.
As in any company, you have so many dollars for benefits, and we need to make sure that we can stay competitive and still be able to provide benefits for our employees.
The spiraling cost of health care, and a future analyst warn will likely include higher costs with fewer benefits. Ann Thompson, NBC News, New York.
More health news tonight. Some good news from a group of scientists who've located the genes that could hold the secret to very long life. It's not quite the fountain of youth yet, but it may explain why some people live much longer than average. Here's NBC Chief Science Correspondent Robert Bazell with our Lifeline report.
All right. When the Brown family gets together, there are a lot of memories. Marjorie is 97, Lois is 100, Roger is 92, and Mildred does not like to discuss her age.
Do I have to tell? 102.
And if that were not enough, two other brothers live to be 95 and 99. The odds of so many siblings living so long are enormous, more than 1 billion to 1. That is why two Harvard scientists looked at genes in this and several other extraordinary families. And in the study out tonight, they report they are closing in on a major breakthrough in understanding aging.
They're doing something, they have something special, and it'll tell us how they escape these problems by understanding what this gene does.
Dr. Thomas Pearl started the research more than a decade ago and has examined more than 600 healthy 100-year-olds. He concluded that not smoking, eating right, exercising, and good luck can get many people into their 80s.
But then to live the extra 10, 15, 20 years beyond that, I think you may need these genetic booster rockets that confer an added advantage of aging slowly and an increased resistance to diseases associated with aging.
The scientists have yet to find the exact booster rocket gene, but they have narrowed it down to a group of about 500 out of the 30,000 human genes. The value of an aging gene could be so high that the scientists have formed a biotech company with an investment of $5 million to do the nitty-gritty work of finding it. They expect the process will take 6 months to a year. With a gene in hand, the scientists might be able to design drugs that would allow most of us to age in good health, like the Brown family.
We just can't get rid of us, I guess.
The current average American lifespan, 77, achieved through advances in sanitation and medical care. Experts say breakthroughs in genetics may boost it close to 100.
Nice to see you.
Robert Bazell, NBC News, Boston.
An important announcement from federal scientists tonight on stem cell research. Researchers from the National Institutes of Health have identified 10 organizations around the world that hold 64 stem cell lines that are eligible under President Bush's new guidelines for federally funded experiments. NIH said the 64 lines are genetically diverse and will allow high-quality research. Some scientists have been skeptical about how many usable stem cell lines really exist. They could eventually yield major new treatments for diabetes, Parkinson's disease, and spinal cord injuries. In the Middle East tonight, Iraq claims it shot down an unmanned American spy plane today about 340 miles south of Baghdad. Iraqi television aired pictures of what it said was the wreckage, and in the streets of Baghdad, there was great pride over the reported shootdown. The Pentagon confirms that a $3 million Predator aircraft did go missing over southern Iraq today, but will not confirm that the Iraqis shot it down. Also in the Middle East tonight, Israel targeted and killed with incredible precision a top Palestinian leader. Now the Palestinians are accusing Israel of, quote, opening the door to an all-out war. And the State Department today criticized Israel, saying the assassination has inflamed the Middle East conflict. NBC's Martin Fletcher from Tel Aviv tonight.
Tonight, an outburst of fury at the death of a Palestinian hero. His murder pushing the conflict here once again to the brink. 11:15 this morning, Abu Ali Mustafa, leader of the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, answers the phone. His aides believe the call was from the Israelis, checking he was in his chair. Moments later, 2 rockets smashed through the windows of his top-floor apartment. Aides say one rocket tore Mustafa's head off, the other ripped through his body. American-made Apache helicopters like these seen in training used in the attack. The site just 200 yards from Palestinian President Arafat's West Bank office. Mustafa's assassination, one of more than 50 the Israelis have executed in the 11 months of fighting here. It stunned the Palestinians.
This is very serious escalation because it means that every Palestinian political leader could be a target.
Why would the Israelis raise the stakes by killing one of the top 5 leaders in the PLO? The Israelis claim Mustafa was an arch-terrorist responsible for masterminding at least 7 car bombings in the past 6 months.
He had the aim. The purpose was to kill Israeli civilians.
As news of Mustafa's killing spread throughout the West Bank, thousands of Palestinians rushed to the streets, demanding revenge. Within hours, an Israeli motorist was ambushed and killed. Mustafa's PFLP claimed responsibility and warned Israel would pay heavily for the death of their leader. Mustafa will be buried tomorrow in what promises to be a huge outpouring of Palestinian grief and anger. Israel tonight put its army and police on a high alert and warned its embassies abroad to beware of revenge attacks. Martin Fletcher, NBC News, Tel Aviv.
Up next, 3 of the Lucky 4 Powerball lottery winners come forward to claim the big prize.
There is a God. When I won the money, that day was the day that my ex-wife got married at 4 o'clock.
How lucky can one guy get? From a stint in jail for robbery to beating 80 million to 1 odds. In depth tonight. And later, new breakthroughs for your diet. The foods of the future that can fight cancer and heart disease. First, the nightly question: what percentage of Americans currently eat the recommended 5 fruits and vegetables per day?
The Heartburn Hotel. If you suffer persistent heartburn 2 days a week or more, despite diet change and treatment, it may be acid reflux disease. Prescription Prevacid can mean 24-hour relief from acid reflux disease. Prevacid turns off tiny pumps that produce acid. It has a low occurrence of side effects, such as diarrhea, abdominal pain, and nausea. Ask your doctor if Prevacid is right for you.
So leave your heartburn behind.
Your eyes need nutrition as well as the rest of your body. So Centrum and Centrum Silver added lutein to help maintain your precious sight. Now your eyes, your toes, and everything in between are covered by Centrum and Centrum Silver. More complete from A to Zinc.
New faster acting Dawn with flash sets. It powers through tough grease at a speed no other brand can touch. New faster acting Dawn. Get grease out of your way sooner.
Did you know nearly 40% of women in their 60s have osteoporosis? Although your risk may vary, it does increase with age. But there is something you can do. Ask your doctor about a simple, painless bone density test and if treatments can help.
We're the nation's first totally wireless campus. Everywhere you go on campus, you're connected.
Wireless can go anywhere. Small business, medium business.
All faculty and students who use Gateway Solo laptops.
Gateway has an elite technical support group that works with large customers.
Wireless is a great solution because it doesn't require a lot of maintenance. The cost is lower and the support is greater. They stood behind us every step of the way. That's not just any company. Gateway does that.
Let us design a business solution for you. Call, click, or come in.
Monday, they were promised a baby, but was this adoption nothing more than a scam? Can they help the FBI put this swindler behind bars? Then, she looks like the perfect toddler, but inside this tiny body lives an 8-year-old girl. Brooke's story, a Dateline People magazine exclusive, tonight on NBC.
NBC News In Depth tonight, the lucky winners who had 6 lucky numbers and today started collecting one of the biggest lottery jackpots ever in this country. The multi-state Powerball lottery prize climbed to almost $295 million over the weekend, and 3 of the 4 winners came forward today to claim their share. They are among the millions of Americans who bought lottery tickets with the same hope of striking it rich. More than $38 billion in tickets were sold in this country last year alone. And the folks who stepped up today were living everybody's lotto dream. In Depth tonight, here's NBC's national correspondent, Jim Avila.
Present the ceremonial check to you. 3 of the happiest and now richest families in America, choosing lump sum $41 million checks in Minnesota, New Hampshire, and Kentucky. A 4th big check awaiting a winner in Delaware.
It's a poor man's dream.
The math on the nation's 3rd biggest lottery jackpot, $294.8 million total. 4 winners, $73.7 million each. 25-year, $2.9 million payout. The lump sum option, one $41 million check, minus $14 million to the government. Each winner banks $27 million.
There is a God. When I won the money, that day was the day that my ex-wife got married at 4 o'clock. And
Dave Edwards has a lot to be thankful for. A tremendous 10-year turnaround. From convicted armed robber, a decade in state prison, to out-of-work divorced dad with child support due and only 3 unemployment checks to go. Now, he's a multi-millionaire.
I asked the Lord, help me, Lord. And I know it might not be right for me to ask you this, but can you just let me win this? And you know what? I think he heard me.
Yeah.
Now the hard part, keeping the money. Even $27 million can be spent. At $10,000 a day, it would last 7.5 years before the lottery winner went broke. Experts say 7 out of 10 lottery winners go through their winnings in just 3 years. Their advice, collect and immediately invest the winnings. Delays can be expensive. Interest on $27 million is $3,000 a day. Stop and think before spending. Freeze all purchases until the financial plan is complete. And keep the winnings as quiet as possible until you're ready. Susan Bradley wrote Sudden Money, a guidebook to surviving the lottery.
Find a way to avoid making emotion-based decisions, and that means to step away from all big decisions for a while.
And experts say living off the interest can be done. $27 million in a safe money market account at 3.64% interest earns $983,000 a year, never touching the original $27 million. And the aggressive lottery winner can play the stock market. Over the last 10 years, a 14.5% return, $7.5 million a year, no guarantees. Getting rich quick, pure luck against incredible odds. Staying rich, patience, and plain hard work. Jim Avila, NBC News, Chicago.
Next, he said, she said, the flight attendant who broke her silence about Congressman Gary Condit now takes new action that could mean big legal trouble for him. And later, would you believe ice cream that fights heart disease? How new foods may help turn back the hands of time.
Dogs love home cooking, or new pedigree little champions. Gently prepared, then sealed in our revolutionary flavor lock pouch. For the home-cooked taste dogs love.
Yeah. What are you doing in there?
I'll be right there.
Time to relax. What a time for bad heartburn. Try Extra Strength Mylanta. It works on tough nighttime heartburn fast. So go ahead, relax, if you can. Extra Strength Mylanta.
You'd try anything to get some relief from your nasal allergy symptoms. But before you change your life, make an easier change. Multi-Symptom Flonase relieves all these nasal allergy symptoms: sneezing, itchy, runny nose, and congestion. Flonase once a day relieves them all day and night. For best results, use daily. Side effects are generally mild and may include headache, nosebleed, or sore throat. Ask your doctor about Multi-Symptom Flonase. When you get it all it takes is Flonase.
This school supply thing.
I know. But until the school budget catches up, I really don't see any other way.
It's just really starting to add up.
Kids really need those supplies.
In an effort to help local schools, Office Depot is crediting 5% of your back-to-school purchase to the school of your choice. Office Depot, helping schools take care of business.
Who's grilling America's favorite sirloin steaks? Well, sink your teeth into our perfectly seasoned house sirloin and you'll know. It's got to be Applebee's.
When I started having hot flashes and night sweats at menopause, my doctor recommended hormone replacement therapy, but I didn't listen.
Up to 20% of a woman's expected lifetime bone loss occurs in the years following menopause.
A year later, I went back to my doctor and found I'd shrunk an inch. I went on HRT, and I've been on it for years. My hot flashes and night sweats, gone. I feel great.
HRT is not for all women. Talk to your doctor about the benefits and risks.
The time to protect your future is now.
Now, from today's wedding, what should Jenny do with her hair? It may be the most important vote of the summer, so log on in style by tomorrow at noon. Presented by Club Wed at Target.
Business Center, weeknights 6 p.m. Eastern, only on CNBC.
In Southern California tonight, firefighters are trying to get the upper hand on a pair of brush fires. The flames dangerously close to several luxury homes in the Castaic Lake area. What sparked these fires is still unknown tonight. More fallout tonight for Congressman Gary Condit from that nationally televised interview that many are calling a PR disaster. Now possible legal trouble on top of his political problems. NBC's George Lewis joins us now from Modesto, California, what they call Condit country. George?
Stone, last week on TV, Congressman Condit accused flight attendant Anne-Marie Smith of lying when she claimed she had an affair with him. Today, her lawyers went to the county grand jury and asked for a criminal indictment of Condit and 2 of his aides. In the documents filed today, Smith claims that Condit and his aides repeatedly pressured her to sign a false affidavit, claiming, quote, "I do not and have not had a romantic relationship with Congressman Condit." Her lawyers charged that in trying to get Smith to perjure herself, Condit and his aides committed a crime.
Certainly Condit is a major player. He's the one that calls numerous times to Miss Anna Marie to ask her to sign that declaration.
In national and local TV interviews last week, Condit said Smith wanted money and publicity when she spoke of an affair with him.
You have to question Anne-Marie Smith's motives. Her motives is to sell a story to a tabloid. That's what she did.
But Vince Flamini, a former driver who was fired by Condit, says he helped arrange liaisons between the congressman and a number of women, including Smith.
I have evidence of that. I drove him to meet her one time.
A deputy district attorney says it's unlikely Condit will be criminally indicted. But tonight, a new political problem for the congressman. Governor Gray Davis, a close Condit ally, now joining the critics.
I'm disheartened that Congressman Condit did not speak out more quickly or more fully. While I get no joy out of this whatsoever, I just think it is important that Gary Condit be as forthcoming as possible, do everything humanly possible to help law enforcement identify the location of Chandra Levy.
Tonight, Condit's office responded to the attempt to file criminal charges, saying today's events are yet another example of the tabloidization of this tragedy. Nothing that happened today will advance the cause of finding Chandra. Stone?
NBC's George Lewis tonight. On Wall Street today, little movement. The Dow closed down a little less than 41 points. The NASDAQ down 4. We'll be right back with news about some special foods being cooked up now that could help you live longer. And the answer to the nightly question after a break.
Be adventurous. Be plugged in. Be involved. Be powerful. Be yourself. Because it's your choice, your voice, and your attitude. Today's AARP.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Hey, neighbor. I whipped up a delicious crab cob salad and these mouth-watering crab portobello mushrooms. Nice mold.
Enjoy mouth-watering crab at Red Lobster's Festival of Crab. Entrees start at just $9.99. Red Lobster, go overboard.
Now, the same caltrate that helps fight bone loss may help your colon, too. In a recent study, caltrate helped reduce the risk of recurrence of colon polyps, a risk factor for colon cancer. The same caltrate you take for your bones, now for colon health, too.
The world is a beautiful place, but not when your eyes feel dry, gritty, irritated. Protect them with Refresh brand eye drops. Refresh is no ordinary eye drop. First, Refresh relieves dryness. Then Refresh forms a lasting shield of protection that keeps irritation out and moisture in. So get relief and protection with the #1 brand recommended by eye doctors. Refresh brand eye drops for relief and protection that lasts.
The pain was awful. It got so bad I wanted to lie down. Then I rediscovered Extra Strength Bayer. Nothing's proven stronger, not even the leading prescription. And aspirin can help save your life.
Bayer. Take it for pain, take it for life.
Grab it, pledge, grab it, mitt. You can do the knickknacks, you can do the tables. You can hold on and grab things. It does, it grabs it. Because it's your hand. Slide and dust. That's how you grab your dirt. Grab it, pledge, grab it, mitt.
Thursday nights are chilly nights at Ladder Company 55. And when it's Wachowski's turn, it's a 5-alarmer. That means heartburn. And gas. These don't have the medicine to relieve both, but now there's new Gas X with Malox, combining the proven heartburn relief of Malox with the most powerful gas-fighting medicine around to relieve heartburn and gas fast. New Gas X with Malox beats the burn and the bloat fast.
New at 6.
This is outrageous.
A new twist in the battle over medical marijuana in Oregon. Why the government wants users to turn over vital medical information.
We need to make sure that everyone is complying with the law.
Tonight at 6 on Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
We've all heard of designer fashions, but designer foods? On the cutting edge of science and health, foods are being cooked up for the express purpose of helping you ward off disease and live longer. But first, the answer to the nightly question: what percentage of Americans currently eat the recommended 5 fruits and vegetables per day? The answer, A, just 20%. But there may soon be a new way to have your cake and your good health, too. Here's NBC's Rahima Ellis.
Ice cream, an American obsession. But if food chemist Marvin Rudolph has his way, you'll never think of ice cream as just ice cream again.
This is refined fish oil.
Fish oil and ice cream? An unlikely combination. But Rudolph wants to make it taste good and help your heart. He's fortifying his ice cream with fish oil, omega-3s, a polyunsaturated fat known to help against heart disease.
But if you don't like fish and you don't want to take fish oil capsules, then here's a product that could deliver a significant part of your omega-3s for you.
Welcome to the world of so-called functional foods, designed for your health and some even targeting specific diseases. The customer market, baby boomers. Already on the food shelves, a margarine to help lower cholesterol, eggs with omega-3 to help your heart. And now the newest additions, a drink with glucosamine for your joints, oatmeal with soy protein to balance your hormones. The functional food industry is growing at a rapid pace. In the last 4 years, the sale of functional beverages has nearly doubled to $5 billion, and consumers' interest in enhanced foods adds up to more than $23 billion in sales. But are these foods good for you?
Right now, we're in a period of trial and error where consumers are exposed and tempted with all these new functional foods, and there's no real good standard by which consumers can judge them.
Take this new line of oatmeal. On the front, they say soy protein, but on the back, no mention of how much it contains. And this food, ginseng, supposed to give you extra energy, but again, no mention of how much.
Some functional foods contain so little of the active ingredient that you'd have to consume a lot of it, maybe more than you're prepared to consume, in order to get a beneficial effect.
But with customers demanding food that not only tastes good, but is healthy too, there's increasing pressure on scientists to deliver. Rahima Ellis, NBC News, Cambridge, Massachusetts.
That's Nightly News for this Monday. I hope you'll join me later for Dateline tonight at 10, 9 Central. I'm Stone Phillips from New York. Good night.
Nightly News is a presentation of NBC News. More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world.
Next, the rescue underway right now on Mount Hood after a climber falls into a crevasse. Plus, you thought your commute was bad. You could have been here in the traffic snarl on the Markham Bridge. And medical marijuana users protest after the state asked them to hand over their health records. The news at 6 starts now.
From KGW, where the news comes first. This is Northwest News Channel 8 at 6.
Hello, I'm Laurel Porter, in tonight for Joe Donlin.
And I'm Tracy Berry. Thanks for being with us. Our top story tonight is breaking news: that rescue underway on Mount Hood. A climber has fallen into a crevasse. And News Channel 8's Vince Patton is live in Sky 8 with the latest. Vince?
Tracy, you're looking at 2 rescuers who are attending to the medical needs of a man who fell in a crevasse. They were able to rappel in and get him out. Now they are tending to making sure he's okay. When we first saw him here on the mountain, he was sitting up. Now he is lying down. They've wrapped him in a blanket, tending to his medical needs, and we're told that he's in good enough shape they're not going to call in a medical helicopter to bring him out.
How they're going to get him down is not quite clear. They may have him on a toboggan of some kind. If that's the case,